Hi, what's up, people? As is typical, if you know me, and if you don't, hey, what's up? I'm Ellis, and I sometimes make poor decisions, and I still am pretty unhappy with this setup, but that's not going to stop us from making videos. We make a video, and hopefully there's some value and joy in it. What I am upset about, and maybe I shouldn't care about, is it's probably going to look like I'm looking at nothing, because I'm probably going to be like looking that way, which looks like I'm looking at nothing, even though the video's over there, and you might be like, why don't you slide it over there? But then it'd be blocked. It's stupid. Anyways, COLAPS is awesome. We know COLAPS is amazing. I have not seen COLAPS in a long time. I've been on that Terrace Improver train, and I re-uploaded some content. People seem to be upset about that, but if there's a reaction from 3 years ago that people haven't seen, maybe I'll post that. Probably stupid. It's okay to make stupid decisions. Just don't make all stupid decisions all the time. I hope you're doing well. Get stretched out. Let's talk about Beatbox, which is a reaction video, but we're gonna talk. I think we always talk. Look at me, not looking at anything. Because the month, whatever. You get it. You get it. COLAPS, ELEGY. Oh, ELEGY. It's like for death? Okay, my comments need to be smarter than that. So as is my style, I talk about things as I'm interested by them, and one thing I like about his bass, which I think now is probably pretty common, but I feel like a few years ago wasn't quite as common, is starting dead ass on the pitch, boom, and then swelling the end of the pitch. That reminds me of like a cello, where you start stringing it, wow, and it kind of gives you an EDM kind of feel, because the ending part of your bass note is louder than the beginning. And I think that creates some intensity and enjoyment, because it's, when you play guitar or something, you hit it and it dies, bow, bow, but this is wow. All right. I might just have to back it up from the beginning, because it's already really interesting to me, because when you think about all of these sounds you're hearing, even though it's one person, they're all serving a different function. There's a melody, there's a bass, there's like an underlying rhythm, and the bass is very much wow, like it's coming dead ass at you, and then it's like floaty on the other notes, and the percussion is not really echoey. So there's a lot of dynamic contrast between the parts, even though they're all happening at the same time. The bass is very, very loud. The singing melody is lower than that, and I would argue that the rhythmic pitch, the drumming, is even lower. It's thinking about like visualizing it in a audio spectrum. I don't know why this is the way you do that. X, Y coordinates. I guess I'm assuming that X and Y, X is going forward in time, and Y is the intensity of the sound you're hearing. So the bass would be way up here, wow, and the melody, boop, boop, doo, doo, and the pitched rhythm, the drumming, and then we're moving forward in time on the X axis. This bass is fucking amazing. And so is his pitch control also. Picking up the rhythm. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume we're all nerds here. I assume that anyone watching this video is probably a nerd, so maybe 60 or 70% of you will enjoy what I'm saying because I'm gonna get really nerdy. Pitch drift. Pitch drift, I don't know if he's got an inner monitor or how he like recorded this, whatever the situation was. But typically when you do something a cappella or by yourself with your voice, not with the piano, right? Because the notes are already there, or guitar, they're already there. Pitch drift is you start off on a certain note, and as you play your melodies, you end up sharper or flatter than when you start out. So like by the end of your composition playing by yourself, you've drifted sharper or flatter than where you started. And I always just am blown away that not only are they doing so much complexity with their arrangement, but getting back to the pitches, the bass, melody, and being right where they started. I think that's it's probably the least talked about thing. I think it's to make a bunch of sounds and get back to where sound one was after 10 or 12 sounds. That's crazy. You're kind of like keeping a record playing in your head. It ties you in. Boo. And you come back later on, and you hit the same pitch. Boo. It seems like it would be easy, but I think the tendency is to shift up or down. All right, this video is just gonna be for me because this reminds me of all of the things I was thinking about Beatbox. I think maybe in 2021 is when I first started reacting to it. So a guy with this amount of talent to fill up space, the fact he's going very, very quick. He's filling up the measure with rhythm. And at the end of the measure leaves a little bit of space, which also helps to get back to his other sounds, his melody and his bass. But instead of it's like it's leaving enough space for contrast. And I don't know why he's in the field by a lake, but it looks awesome. I mean, why would you not be in a field by a lake? Right? Now he is filling up more time. I don't know if you're keeping track of the length of his durations of notes. He's definitely taking up more time now than he did 40 seconds ago. Complexity, I don't know. I'm not a beatboxer. Am I Trump? Complexity, I don't know complexity, but I know people that know complexity, and they say COLAPS is the best. He's the greatest. So the theme, I don't know if this sounds good or not. The see, I can't even find the pitch. Is that a major scale going down 3 notes, like 3, 2, 1? Anyways, if I had to pick a melody that's keeping everything together, it would be that and he's dancing around it with the bass. Wow. Wow. boom, and then a little artistic freedom ornamentation on that little theme. Let's call it a theme. Theme and variation. His theme is the boop, 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 and he's building a whole construct around it. That's how I interpret it. Doesn't mean it's correct. It's just how I'm hearing it on the first time through. First time's the real time. There it is. There's 3 descending notes. And there's 3 descending notes in a row. So sometimes it doesn't even have to be the same distance between the notes, but where are the notes moving? And he's constantly having this 3-note motif theme of 3 descending notes all by themselves. Boop, 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 boop. Even though they're not all the same notes, the fact they all start and go down linearly as 3 notes, you can call that a motif, a thematic motif, based on the notes starting and going down a certain way. You could have a motif based on rhythm. I guess it is also rhythmically identical, but I would hang my hat on the 3 notes going down in a row. Linearly as opposed to arpeggiatedly. I don't know if that's a word. He doesn't seem like he's going down like a dominant 7th arpeggio or something. He's not like boop, boop, boop. He's not like doing a massive distance when he's going down. It's very close, note-wise, space-wise, octave-wise. Three down. Three down. Now that one, but do 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 do. What is that? It's still 3 down, but before he had 3 notes and all 3 went down, and now he had do 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 do. So he had 6. He had twice as many notes. But what's the overall structure? It bounces up and then comes down. It's still 3 notes going down, just with decoration in the middle. Back up. Listen to that. Do, 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 do. He's still doing 3 down. There's just a little musical cornstarch in the middle. 3 down. And each one of those little fragments, you're like, da, da. What are those all doing? They're all starting, ornamenting up and coming down. It's still heading down. He's still starting with a pitch and heading down, just a slight ornament going up. Sorry, bad pitches. That's just 3 going down. It's just fancy. It's the same thing. It's just the little, it's not even really an ornament. It's just like a phrasing thing. And then, so the first note goes up, but then the second note goes below the first note. So it's still a descending. If you were to like write it out in a music, you would see the notes heading downwards. Same thing. He's starting a note, going up like a bend on a guitar, and then landing lower than his previous note. It's all a falling melody. All of it. Right there also, again, this is a repeat of the past. Oh, and that was, that's from melody note 2 of this key we're in. I don't know what key we're in. And that is the major 7. That's a half step to resolve to 1. Do I have a fucking guitar here that I can actually use? You're not gonna hear the bass. Best I have is a bass. Can you even hear that? Wait, can I get the keys in? I don't have enough notes. He's way up here on the bass. It'd be like, I don't have enough frets. I'm gonna take it down a half step. That's the last part he goes. Da, da, da. Which would be your 1 chord to your 5 chord, your dominant 7, resolved to 1. Actually, probably call both of them dominant. Sorry, I don't have a guitar. I mean, I got a guitar in here, but you can't hear it. Probably can't hear the fucking bass either. No, don't fall. Don't fall. Yeah, so even though it's beatbox and people are like, beatbox isn't real music, it's absolutely real music. He's following a chordal structure. There's a motif, there's an element, there's a theme, there are things that are being developed. They're just being developed by his voice and not a typical instrument such as a bass or keyboard or whatever. And obviously the voice is the oldest instrument. Oh, there you are. The voice is the oldest instrument, right? You have to invent an instrument to have instruments. So the voice is the oldest instrument. And even though people may look at beatboxing as strange, it's really just a mixture of all of the parts of music, just all mixed in one person's presentation of it. Bass, melody, chords, percussion. And then how do you organize those elements to make a cohesive whole and make an actual piece of music that does something? He's made that piece of music that does something. Great job. That says now streaming on all platforms, which means I will get a copyright for this, but I won't probably get a strike. It'll just be copywritten because if it's on all platforms, it'll probably be in the machine. I'll post it anyways, unedited, unless something in the back end of YouTube slaps me on the wrist. I'll post the whole thing unedited. I liked it. I thought it was awesome. Okay, I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous about the copyright thing. What am I gonna do?